Hiding in plain sight is a specialty of mine. I have had years of practice at it and have used it as a tool to protect my heart, or rather, the shame that lies within. So what I am sharing with you today is based on my own personal perspective and the things that God has taught me through the process of dealing with my shame versus His way, which leads to forgiveness, healing, and restoration. We all fall short. It's time we get used to this fact. Even those among us with the best hearts and greatest intentions will fail and fall at times. This is common ground for each of us, and none of us will escape our old nature completely as long as we live in this world. Yet the inevitable failures are not what is most important. Let me repeat that. Our failures are not that important. What happens after we fail is what determines whether we begin the journey to forgiveness and healing or denial and hiddenness. Throughout the Bible, we see examples of failures. Some of them are massive. Even David, who was described as a man after God's own heart, had intimate relations with another man's wife, and when it seemed the truth would find him out, made sure that this humble and devoted servant was murdered on the front lines of battle. It is a classic cover-up, but as with all cover-ups, the truth found him out. The steps he took to hide his sin and shame cost him greatly in the process. For 38 years of my life, and in reality sometimes even today, the first inclination I have following a failure is to go into hiding. The tape that plays in my head tells me that if I can simply hide long enough, I will be able to work through the sin in my life and fix it. It's tempting to want to do this. After all, confessing our sins to one another, as we are instructed to do in James 5:16, isn't easy. We want to look good. We want to look like we have it all together. The truth is that none of us do. In choosing to fix ourselves, we are also choosing to hide. We keep the truth concealed as the shame over what we have done sears our hearts. Inevitably, in our hiding, even as we promise God never again, we repeat the same actions. We begin digging a hole, and each new failure is another shovel full of dirt. As we hide in plain sight, we are also prime targets for the enemy. He wants us to believe that if we confess our sins to one another, we will be rejected. He wants us in the shadows. We choose man's approval over God's. Ironically, by doing this, we sin even in our acts to correct sin. However, when we confess our sins to one another and pray for one another, we live whole and healed lives as a community. We take the isolation, that shame, and the enemy that uses it against us, and trade it for community and transparency. Simply put, we trade sickness for healing. There is no intent to discount how difficult this can be. When we fail, it can be painful. Sometimes there are unavoidable repercussions that present themselves as we come clean and admit our mistakes. As painful as those consequences may be, they don't even compare to the pain and suffering we endure as we hide in plain sight. Don't miss the truth in this. God knows you. He knows your heart, and He knows your weaknesses. He knows every thought, every temptation, and every failure. Yet His love endures without conditions. He chose you even with the full knowledge of your mistakes, of the past, present, and future. When we step into the light of His truth, we acknowledge Him as our Master and submit ourselves to His ways. We are told that God disciplines the ones that He loves. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Personally, I am thankful for this. I am thankful that the truth finds us out and that we are given opportunities in our lives to choose His path over our own. Freedom comes with the light of His truth, and when we choose to let others in, we find that we truly are not alone. So why would we hide in plain sight when we could be known and still loved? Do you find yourself playing the shame game? Are you in hiding today? The sooner you put that shovel down and stop digging, the sooner you will look up and discover God has lowered a rope for your escape. Hebrews 4:16 tells us, walk right up to Him and get what He is so ready to give. Take the mercy, accept the help. If you are hearing this today and you do not know the one true God, I would be honored to make the introductions. He is overjoyed when His children come home, and He stands waiting to welcome you. Love, your brother, Mitch.